The Man Who Cooked for Himself. There once was a man who lived with his cat in a little house on the edge of a wood. He didn't have a wife or children, so he always cooked his own supper, cleaned the house by himself, and made his own bed. The man didn't even have a car or a telephone, but he had a friend who visited him every few days, bringing him the things he needed. When summer came, though, the man's friend decided to take a trip, so he told the man to order everything he thought he would need for 3 weeks. The man ordered meat, eggs, pretzels, raisins, apples, lollipops, crunchy peanut butter, ketchup, carrots, onions, peppers, pears, bananas, pickles, and milk and sardines for his cat. When he had put everything away the next day, the man decided he would enjoy the summer by doing nothing at all. So he just sat in his rocking chair in the sun, and he grew lazier every day. He grew so lazy, he did not even want to cook for himself. So one day he made a big stew that would last a long time. He cut up carrots and onions, peppers and meat, and added salt and pepper. He put everything into a big pot and let it cook. Then he sat outside enjoying the smell of his cooking stew. At night, he went inside and ate some of it. It was delicious, and it lasted for a whole week. But a few days later, he did not have much food left. All he could find was salt, ketchup, 4 peppermint sticks left from Christmas, crunchy peanut butter, an overripe banana, 3 pickles, and an onion. He mixed these things together in a pot and went outside. When the man tasted the stew that night, he did not think it was very good. In fact, it was terrible. "Ah me," he said, "I'm afraid I will just have to go to sleep hungry." Luckily, there was a little bit of milk left over for the cat. The next day, the man looked around the house to see what he could eat. His newspaper? No, that would give him a stomachache. An old rag? A terrible idea. Then he saw a fly whiz by. No, he couldn't possibly eat that. The man went out to sit in his rocking chair and enjoy the sun, but all he could think of was food. So he decided to go for a walk. When he came to a stream, he stopped to rest a while. All of a sudden, he was splashed with water. At first he thought it had started to rain. Then he saw that fish were jumping in the stream. A fish had splashed him. The man said, "Fish would be good supper for me and my cat." Fortunately, he had some string and a paper clip in his pocket. He bent the clip into a hook and tied the string to it. Then he dug up some worms to put on the hook. In no time he caught 4 fish. The man was very pleased with himself and started home. On the way, he looked down and was amazed to find watercress growing along the bank of the stream. "So this is how it grows," he cried. He gathered a large bunch for salad and put it in his hat. Then he bent down to pick up the fish. He saw that there were blue spots on his pants. "That's funny," he said. He looked around to see where the spots had come from. Right by his side was a bush of blackberries. He had rubbed against the berries. The man saw birds eating the berries, so he knew they were good and tried some. "They're delicious," he cried. "These are better than the ones I buy in the store." And he put some in his hat. Just then, something hard plopped on his bare head. "What was that?" he asked. He looked up and found some apples growing on a tree. "Apples! I love apples," he said. Soon his pockets were bursting with them. The man began to look at things more closely than he ever had before. In front of him was a giant oak tree full of acorns. "Why, I can make pancakes out of them," the man said. He shook the branches and pounds of acorns came tumbling down. Then, since he couldn't carry anything else, the man went home. He went to work right away in his kitchen. For dinner, he gave his cat one of the fish. The cat ate every bit of it, then licked his paws and purred. The man ate fried fish, watercress salad, and berries for dessert. He felt so good he almost purred like his cat. In the morning, he ate a delicious breakfast of acorn pancakes and applesauce. Then he went to sit outside in his rocking chair, as full and happy as he could be. In the afternoon, the man heard a car honking. His friend had returned from his trip. The man was proud of the delicious things he had found to eat and invited his friend to dinner. Now, when his friend asked him what he needed, the man made sure to ask for a book about gardens. "Next spring, I will plant a vegetable garden," said the man. All that winter, the man planned his garden. His friends brought him the seeds he wanted, and when spring came, the man planted them. By summer, when the man's friend left for his trip, the man had tomatoes, green beans, cucumbers, and corn growing in his own garden. He even had catnip for his cat. And best of all, he was never so lazy and never went hungry again.
Can you go back to the first page and explain something to me? Second page. Read that first sentence.
He didn't have a wife or children,
Keep going.
so he always cooked his own supper.
So if he had children, they would have to cook for him. Never mind the slap towards the wife.
Are you still making crude comments about this poor man that didn't have a wife or children?
The only way he would cook for himself is if he
If he didn't have kids.
his wife or kids do it. I'm surprised.
I
he
notice
didn't
you're
make his
recording
cat
this
do it.
for our children.
Oh, I'm sure I'll edit it.
I read way too fast, didn't I?
Well, I put in a few extra pictures just in case. Thank you for reading this, dear. I love you, Cameron. I love you, Ferris.